Five of Swords. What are you to get what you mean? That's the first thing we're going to go for. What are you willing to do to get what you want? Now, I want to say this. I just have a little peep at the bottom of the deck. Saw this, and I'll talk about this. Comes up in readings, but for Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, both of these, especially when they come up like this together, that is a comfort zone. Now, that doesn't mean you've been afraid to do something. It may be that you couldn't, for you to kind of go, and you might have been seen as selfish, or you've been dealing with someone who's behaving in a very selfish way. This is the most selfish energy, I think, because it's very much, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get what you want. Now, self itself is not always about sacrificing yourself for the good of someone else. That's going to fester and turn to shit at some point. Like, that's not going to work long term, which is why you always have to be true to yourself. Works for you in the now, do it. If that's going to come and bite you at some point. So with the Five of Swords coming up here, yeah, that's conflict. Fives are very much, I mean, there are quite a few fives that are shown up in a lot of the readings, and fives are the agents of chaos. I always call them that. And, with the Five of Swords coming up, this might be where it's not worth it. So you don't just take the swords, for God's sake. Just take them. Just get the hell out. Like, I just don't. So it's a victory as it ends, whatever it is that you're trying to end, but you're just done with it. So either you kind of go for it and think, I want this. I'm going to take it. But it costs us something always. The Five of Swords, it costs us something. But I kind of feel like you're at that point, give a shit anymore, because we have the World coming up here. It's like, yeah, let's just end this. Let's just get this done. And for some of you, that is the lesson in this. I talked about this last time I went live. When difficult situations, you can have two totally different opinions on it. One person might say, okay, this is trying to get me to live in a different way, to do something in my own highest good. I need to end this or deal with this differently. The other person, exactly the same situation, might turn around and say, oh, you know what? This is testing my faith to see how much I can take. Neither of them is right. Neither of them is wrong. It's their own truth. Well, whatever they think is their truth, that's what they're going to work with. So this is a completion, though. Massive completion of a cycle. That to an end is that you've been doing. Now, when we get to the completion of a cycle, it doesn't always feel like that. Trust me. I've had people burst into tears on Skype with a reading with me. That's not successful. I've lost everything. I'm like, yeah. It's done. Whatever you were meant to do. It's the card for Saturn, the Saturnian lessons are not always fun. But the World coming up, this is about completing that cycle. It's done. And it says, pause there. You've climbed this huge mountain. You've fought your bloody way up it. And it's saying, just pause there for a moment and enjoy the view. Now, I kind of get the sense that that's kind of, we're at that point right now of, at the top of the mountain, trying to figure out what was it worth? Sorry, I'm just seeing. Oh, I saw my name everywhere. I was thinking, huh? Someone calling me? What happened? Yeah. So this is very much that, guys. It's about getting to the top of the mountain. Enjoy the view. I know it's been a bloody shit show and a half getting up there. And it's almost as if, you're looking at this thinking, well, was it worth it? It is worth it because you've learned a lot from this. And I always find that with the Saturnian lessons, with the World card, it's a victory, but you don't know it until the cycle comes back around again. You're going to come across when you go into a cycle, and it will remind you of this, or it's going to call on the same kind of skills that you've gained from whatever this situation was, and you'll know what to do. It'll be easier next time. Trust me on that. And as some of you are saying, never again. We'll see. Nine of Swords in the past, like this is stress, this is anxiety, this is not fun energy at all. But the thing with the Nine of Swords is, I always say this, no one wakes up and just wants to do that. No one just thinks, ooh, it'd be fun to not sleep tonight. It'd be fun to be stressed out of my head, worrying about all of this stuff. What's going to happen? People are saying, that's that kind of anxiety and stress. It's in the past, though. It's in the past. There's been a lot on your head. And I'm not surprised. I just want to be straight up. As much as the Five of Swords is conflict, I do feel that it's coming from you. And not just because you're Aries. It's because of this. A person can only take this for so long. overdue that you stand up and say, well, screw this. I'm not going to be fair. This is what I want out of the situation. And I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z to get it. So, it's been stressful as hell, but the human body is not designed to be in this kind of stress mode forever. At some point, you just break and you think, screw it. Like, I just want out. I just want this to stop. Whatever it takes to get this to stop, I'll do it. And that's what this kind of feels like. That's what this kind of feels like. But I think that's the point for some of you. I just want to repeat that again. I think the point is to get you to kind of be that kind of, to get back in touch with your inner warrior, to remember who you are, to say the words, with the Nine of Swords, this is, everything's in our head. It's not coming out. We magnify it. We keep going over it and over it. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. And it just feels insurmountable. So this might be where you kind of let off a few F-bombs and just let people know, but it kind of diffuses it. That's the whole point of the fives. They change the situation. You get to that point where you just change it, done with it, end it. So it's about ending. This is about beginnings. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Coins coming up in the present. Now, I say this about all the aces. The ace is always with you. Yes, it's an opportunity, but it's what you do with it. And so, the Ace of Cups is how we feel. The Ace of Swords is what we think, like I think. And the Ace of Wands is what's my inspiration, what's my spark. The Ace of Pentacles, or the Ace of Coins here, is what is the seed that you're planting now? What are you trying to grow? Because this is like massive kind of endings here. And I don't even mean that a relationship's ended or what. I don't mean that. I'm not seeing that kind of ending. This is very much, I've gotten everything I can get out of this situation. And for some of you, all you got out of it was a headache and sleepless nights. And so that's the focus shifts now. The focus shifts from, all right, that's ended. What am I trying to grow now? What's the next thing that I want to do? And with the Ace of Coins, this is about long-term stability and security. It's kind of a slow burn. It starts off kind of slowly, but when we go with it, it's like this is it. This is what we're going to do. And so with that, like, think about it. What are you trying to plant? It's not going to happen overnight. Oh God, you know what? I just had a look at the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Swords here. And it's almost as if I've seen like someone kind of gripping onto like the last packet of seeds for something, and they've had to like be chased and almost got beaten up for it, but they protected that seed. Now is the time you're ready to plant that seed now. I think for a lot of you've been planning to do this or wanting to do this, but there's been too much shit going on around you. Now you're ready to go. Now you're ready to go. Now, the whole point of this, and this has been a repeat message that's been coming up for all of the signs, I kind of feel. I think we're very much ready to know who we are. Everything that's been going on, the retrogrades over the 3 or 4 months ago, and now Venus retrograde now, and Scorpio season and Libra and all of this shit. We're so clear on what it is that we want and what we don't want. And you know what you're trying to build. I mean, you're right at the beginning here. You see the potential for it. The Ace of Pentacles for me, or the Ace of Coins, it's like the Sun card in some ways, because that seed holds the potential of everything. Like, have a look at the tree here. That tree grew from a seed, from a single seed. And so that's kind of where you are, ready to build something new, big. And where does it lead? The Nine of Pentacles. I want to say this. I don't know who I have to say this to, but you don't ever have to rely on anyone again. That's what it feels like. If, sometimes it happens, whether we give that power away or whatever the situation, however we get there, it's almost as if sometimes our happiness is in someone else's hands or our security is in someone else's hands. No. And that doesn't mean you don't share your garden with other people. But the Nine of Pentacles is independence and it's confidence. And, I always say this when this card shows up. The card before the Nine of Pentacles is the 8. 8 is the apprenticeship card. It's the apprenticeship card. It's where we're learning something new. We're trying to perfect it. This person has mastery. That's what this bird of prey always indicates. It takes great mastery to master this. And she's done it. I like that she has that kind of the jester hat, like of the full hair. But usually what we see is this beautiful garden. This person's created it all. Now, I will say this to you guys. I get that your personal security and stability is big. And when, especially after this kind of difficult swords energy, this is like, I'm so sick to death of everything going on in my head. I want to see, I want the house and I want the hugs and, I want the car or whatever, the physical representations of security and stability. That's what we want. But it's kind of, I think you had to kind of go through that to understand your own power to build something new. This can be like your own business. This could be a new job. This could be a new home that you set up yourself. But that's the whole point of this. And, Aries always have this thing of, it's the I am. It's the I, right? We don't we till we get to Libra. Aries is the I. But even when you're the I, either that can be, well, it can be kind of selfish. If we can only think about ourselves, if we don't see ourselves, it can be lonely too. We don't see ourselves as a part of anything else, that we can't connect to anyone else. But this is being in your own power. See, this is very powerful, and that's what it is. I think a lot of you want your own independence, that confidence return. Your confidence has taken a hit for some of you, big time taken a hit. But guys, I'm going to say this to you. Don't kill me, but whatever you're dreaming, whatever you're thinking of, I still think you're going small. And it's okay to start there. But look at your advice. Your advice is strong. This is courage. I mean, have a look. She's bloody riding a lion, right? So that takes some balls. She's on a lion. She's mastered that lion. She's whatever it is. And that can be our own kind of animalistic side, that I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to argue anymore. I'm revitalized. I'm back in my energy and I'm ready to go build this thing. It can be that. But it requires courage. It requires courage. Otherwise, this wouldn't come up. Strength is the strength to overcome obstacles. And for some of you, it's this. Like whatever this is a constant here. It's conflict. There's, somebody might be saying, Aries, you're being selfish, or, they're trying to push their own agenda and you're thinking that doesn't work for me. Whatever it is. In the past, you stressed about it. Now, no, you're ready to plant a new seed. You're ready to build. You're ready to build yourself. 9 of Pentacles coming up here. But it takes strength, guys. And I think you're going to be pulled out. Whatever you have envisioned, just hear it from me. And I kind of always believe, like, we're in Scorpio season. The reason I love Scorpio season and why it's so important to look at your darkness and to look at everything is because whatever intentions we set in Scorpio season, Taurus season, when that comes up, you're going to see it manifest. I always think the earth seasons are where we really see the seeds that we plant. It takes about 6 months, a lunar cycle for it to happen. But it's courage. And a lot of you, why is it going to take courage? Because you still have some of these obstacles, but it's like pushing past it. I'm done with that. I've gotten everything out. They're not arguing anymore. I'm ready to go forward with what I'm trying to build for myself.